Hi guys, good morning. I hope you're able to hear me. So let me create a complete. Save my cluster. Wait a moment, it will be available. Now the cluster is available. Let's select it. So let me have this employee data frame so that wherever it is required, I'm going to take the employee data frame. Okay, so whenever it is required, I'll take that. So the next one I'm going to talk about, there is a distinct function. Let's say task is 23. How can you remove duplicates from the data frame? Okay, so in order to do this, we need to use a function called a distinct function. Data frame dot distinct. Dot distinct. So this is also transformation. Okay, so it is used to unique values of data frame. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to read the data from the customer.csv file. Let me check, do we have that details or not? dbutils.fs.ls. File store, ADA02. Source, let's execute it. Customer.csv is not available. So I have the data, some duplicated data in that particular file. I'm just going to upload it. Not catalog. And catalog. DBFS. File store. AD02. Input. Not input. Source. Under source, I don't have the customer.csv. I'm just going to upload that file. Customer.csv. Let's open it. And done. Now I wanted to read the data from this particular place. So for this, let's create a data frame. Okay, so I'm going to create a data frame, customer emp underscore df and customer underscore df. Let me take like this. So we already know spark dot read dot format. In format, we can specify CSV since we are reading data from CSV file. And then option. So header is available here for this. So I wanted to say header is true. Option. So I'm asking it to provide the schema. So infer schema. I don't want to create a schema from outside. You can use it. And then finally you can use load. So in the load, you're going to specify file store, AD02, source, and customer.csv. So this entire thing we need to keep in a braces. Display of custom underscore df. Let's execute it. Now if you observe, I have a duplicated records here. Here is one duplicate. Okay, I guess the sixth one also is having the duplicate. You can see. So two duplicates are there. Here is one set of duplicate. And here is one set of duplicate. And here also one set of duplicate and have it. Okay. So let us see how we can remove the duplicates. What happens if I have this? Okay, so this is, I'm using this particular data set for even to handle the nulls also, how we can remove the nulls. We'll see that. So here I wanted to get the only unique records. Okay, so if you want to get it, then we are going to use the function called distinct. Let me write here. Cust underscore df dot show. If I say it is going to have a duplicate of records that we already seen. If I take a distinct dot show. Now there is only 1 and 6 also one time existed. Null is also one time existed. Previously there were 10 rows. Now we don't have a 10 rows. If you wanted to show this as a display, you can use a display function here also. You can see the number of records is 7 records. Okay. So we can see that even here also we can have a count as well. Like if you wanted to know how many number of records are there, then you can get count. So before removing duplicates, how many records were there, and I mean to say before applying this distinct, how many records were there, that you can check. And here it is having 10 records, and here it is having 7 records. Okay, I'm just keeping as a so only. So this is about the distinct function. Now in the same place, I have the nulls also. I don't need these nulls. I wanted to take out them. I wanted to take out these nulls. So in order to do this, we can use the function called drop NA. (24). How can I remove nulls from the data frame? Drop NA. It is just to remove blanks, or we can also say nulls from the data frame. So drop NA is just to drop the nulls. Drop NA is just to drop the nulls. Okay, so this is the syntax, data frame dot drop NA. So we are already having cast underscore df, and then I'm going to use drop NA. That's all. And dot show. You cannot see the blanks. Why it is showing nulls? Display of cast underscore df. So maybe the data types are something different. One minute. It's not required actually, we don't need to pass the values here. Drop duplicates. Give me a moment. Which library it is? It's a data frame function only. Even if I say that syntax, it is similar only. Data frame dot drop NA. Okay, so I'll check this one. Why it is not getting taking out? I'll check. Okay, so if you wanted to take out this, we have a different approaches also. You can use the filter also. Instead of going with this, you can also go for the filter. Right? We already seen. Let's say filter. So here we can specify any of these column names. We can specify all the columns if you wanted to specify. Basically, we need to specify all these columns as a nulls. Then only we can do it. But entire column, if entire column is null, then how we can apply the filter? So for that reason, we have a drop NA, but it is not allowing if the entire row is null. Okay, so even if you go for distinct also, at least one null is going to be there. Okay, so what I can do is I can specify is not null, or first name is not null, or last name is not null. Not or, we need to take and. Okay, so I'm just writing for this is more enough. Let me show. Oh my god. This is taking as text if I'm correct. So because of that reason, it is having some problem here. Otherwise, it will not get a problem. Okay, so filter, let's say customer custody under dot, what is that column name? Customer ID is null. Let's try. If it is working for this, then we have to do something else. Brackets. Okay. So the reason is that is not treating as a null. If this is treated as a null, then you can get it. Okay, so in employee we have seen it, right? Let me check with this employee. Where is this? In employee underscore df, we have a commission column there. Let's try this. Commission column. Oh my God. Now we are able to see because this is a null. Okay, but you can see this is not a null. These are all the text values. Okay, so what I will do is to explain this drop menu function. Instead of going with the infer schema, I'll create a schema. First underscore schema. We can say customer ID is integer. First name, string. Last name, string. Country, string. State, string is integer. So I'm going to use this particular schema here. So we have to use a schema. Inside the schema, we need to pass this. Let's re-execute it. Still, this is coming to the left side. Okay, so that should come to the right side. Okay, let's try. Will it work or not? Now it is fine. So this is fine. Okay, so here I'm having the nulls. Okay, so if you apply the function now, it is going to get it. So keep this as a schema, as we have to define the schema from outside. So otherwise it is not getting. So distinct will be used to remove the duplicate, say null records. This will be removed. So what I can do is cast underscore df dot distinct dot show distinct apart from distinct. Distinct we have seen. This is fine. We're talking about this drop in here. Drop and here. Dot show. Now you can see there is no nulls are available here. Okay, so only drop NA is having the nulls. So when you have the nulls, if you wanted to take out the nulls, then you can use this. Let me bring this to here. Okay, so no more nulls available here. So because of this data type, so we have seen, right, in first schema, if you ask your Databricks to define the data types, so this kind of issues, there is a chances to get it. Okay, so explicitly we have specified the schema and we have done this. So apart from the distinct function, let me get the same thing. Identify. How can I remove duplicate? This one is not remove nulls. Okay. So how can I remove duplicates from the data frame apart from the distinct? So apart from the distinct, we can also use one more function, that is drop duplicates. Data frame dot drop duplicates. So it is used to remove duplicate values or duplicate rows, or it is used to get the unique rows. So it's a more or less same only when you compare with the distinct function. So I'm just taking cast underscore df dot drop duplicates dot show. Let's execute it. So you're having this. And if you wanted to remove this null, then again one more function you can use, that is drop NA. You can use like that dot show. Then you don't get this nulls. No nulls are available. Okay, so multiple times you can apply it. So sometimes I'm just breaking them into multiple statements. Instead of that, if you have a transformation, then you can apply directly transformation if you wanted to do this. Okay, so if you remove this, null will be there. If you use this, null is not going to be available. So that is about the drop duplicate function. And if you wanted to remove any column from the data frame, then you can use, what you can say, can use, there is a function called drop. Let's take this 26. How can you remove a column from data frame? And remove commission from emp underscore df. So I'm going to say emp underscore df dot drop. Then you can specify the list of columns. So if you need only single column, then you're going to say single column. And if you say dot show, you cannot find commission column. You can see here what columns are available. If you wanted to remove this MGR also, I'm just going to keep the comma separator. You can specify as many columns, as number of columns as you want. You can specify that to take out. Okay, so you can drop these columns like this. If you have too many columns, instead of going with the select function, you can go for You can go for a drop column if you wanted to drop any of the column from the data set, data frame. And there is a function called, if you have a nulls, if you wanted to fill something with that nulls, then we can go for other function also. Let me show you before going to that. Let's take this 26. empdf.show, I'm just showing the data here. I have the nulls here, right? I wanted to keep the zeros in place of the nulls. Okay, I wanted to keep the zeros in place of nulls. If you wanted to do that, then we have a function called how can you replace a zero with nulls in the data frame. So you can use a function called data frame dot fill NA. It is used to replace nulls with specified values. Okay, so I'm just going to say here data frame dot fill NA. So here you can specify what you wanted to fill. I wanted to fill the zero. Let's say dot show. So previously I have the nulls here, right? I'm going to get the zeros here. Now you can see. Okay, so you can use, if you wanted to fill the nulls with some value, then you can fill it. So it all depends on your requirement. You can choose the options. And apart from that, there are few more functions also available. I'm going to take you through them. Okay, as of now, any question? I'll unmute yourself. So if you have any question, you can ask me.
Data set is also exists, right? So
data set is not available in the PySpark. It is available in the Scala.
Okay.
Data set is same, more or less same like data frame. Okay, so that is not available in PySpark because here in
real time we are using, or
there may be.
Okay.
Okay, but when it comes to the PySpark, 100% is no.
Okay, when companies are using Scala, then
there is a
maybe
possible. It's a simple, like why we are going to use the data set is if you want to update the data set directly. Here what you're doing, if I wanted to replace a null with zero, then you're creating one more data frame. Okay, you're getting my point. Like this, you're creating one more data frame. But when you go for data set, you can update to this itself. You're getting my point. Okay. Because data set is immutable, but data frame is not mutable. It's immutable. So since same kind of requirement, we can create another data frame. We can do it, whatever it is, whatever we can do it to the data set. The same thing you can do it here also with data frame. Okay, so that is the only difference. You can directly update it if it is a data set. So data set is available in the only Scala only. Okay. You can say that I didn't use a data set.
Yes. The differences there are RDD and frame and data set.
Data set same as like a data frame, but only thing is data set is mutable, whereas data frame is immutable. Okay. So
Very good. Data frame.
Data frame is a mutable. Data frame is a immutable. And data set is a mutable. Like example, if you say tuple, can you modify the tuple? No. Example for this is list.
List modify, yeah.
Yeah. So if you remember that, then you can give answer. Okay, so data set also like a list. And data frame is like a tuple. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The next is I wanted to talk about group by. How can I apply group by in data frame? So in order to do this, we have a function called group by. It is used to group the data to apply aggregations. Okay, so group also we are going to use very frequently. Okay, guys. So basically, group by mostly we are going to use with the aggregations, right? In SQL also we used to do the same thing. Okay, so if you wanted to do that kind of activities, grouping operations, then we need to use the group by class. Or here we can call it as a data frame dot group by. Okay, so data frame dot group by, we can say data frame. So this is also transformation object. Okay, give me 1 minute, please. I'll be back. Now I have a data frame, right? Which data frame? emp underscore df dot group by. So when you use the group by, you have to specify what is the, on what column you wanted to apply. Let's say department number dot show. Just try. Now just try to execute this one also. Now you can see this is coming as a group object. Okay, so you cannot directly use the show function. You cannot use the show function, or you cannot display the function. Okay, so this is a group by class. The data is group, and I wanted to say like what I can say is, I wanted to apply the count operation on top of this. Let's say if we go for SQL, select star from employee we have. Let's execute it. Now I wanted to say count star as count. Then you can use this. So equivalent operation for this is data frame dot count. We already seen that data frame dot count. If you use, then you are going to get the number of records. We don't need to write like this to get the count, right? So in the same way, if I wanted to get the count based on the department number, comma, and we need to have a group by class. Let's execute it. Now you can see department wise count is set. The same result I wanted to get it here. Now I have a group by. I wanted to store this result in another variable. I wanted to store this result into another variable. Let's say group underscore df. I'm just giving some name. It's not a data frame, but I'm just giving like that. And then I'm going to apply group.df.count dot show. Now you can see. So department number 10 is 3. Okay, so 36. So I'm just keeping the SQL statement. So this is equivalent to this. And I wanted to get other operations also, like I wanted to get, let me keep this query like this. Sum of salary as salary. Sum of sum count is there. Let me take average. A count and AVG of salary as AVG salary, min of salary as min salary, max of salary as max salary. So we know about all this stuff. We already come across this kind of requirement. Even with RDD also we have seen it. So the same thing I wanted to do it with data frame. Okay, so let me keep this here. Okay, so I'm just going to comment this. Now I wanted to apply all these operations. I wanted to apply all these operations. You can go for one by one, or you can go for all together at one shot also. Okay. So if you want to go for one by one, you can just have a look with this object. With the same thing, you can use the functions. Whatever the functions you wanted to use, you can say empdf dot, this group df dot sum. Let's see, will it come or not? What is this? Okay, so sum is going to apply for all the columns. You can say for all the columns it is applying. Okay, because you are not passing the column name. And I wanted to pass only salary. Now you can see salary by only a department wise total salary we are giving it. Department wise total salary it is given. You cannot pass multiple columns here. You cannot pass multiple columns. So just for checking, you can just try for having a look how exactly we are going to get. What is the minimum salary, max salary? You can just have a look how we can get it. Okay. Now I wanted to get all together at one shot like this. If I execute it, I wanted to see the entire output like this. So if this is the case, then what you have to do is you have to do some workaround for this. And I'm just going to make this as a comment. Let me keep for this group also here, that is count. So in count, we don't need to pass anything. It is going to show the count. But I wanted to see all aggregations at one shot. So if this is the case, then we have to write it in little different way. We have to use a function called aggregate function. Okay, so we have to use function called agg function. Group by diff dot agg. You have to use this function. So inside this function, you can specify whatever the aggregations you wanted to specify. I wanted to specify count of employee number. And then I need to give a alias name for this. I wanted to give a alias name. If I don't give alias name, just observe dot show. You have to import this function from the SQL library. Let me write here itself so that you can have an idea. From PySpark .sql.functions import. I'm just taking a star. What is error it is? No module name SQL spelling mistake. Now you can see count is getting, but column name is getting this entire express. So I don't want to get like that. I wanted to give a column name for this, count. Then you can set dot alias. So alias is used to give the alias name. This is, I'm just going to give a function name here. It is used to provide alias name to the column. So wherever it is required, you can use it. To use this function, you need to have a SQL, you have to import these functions. Then you can use it. Alias, I'm just going to say the column name is count. Now if you execute this, you can see the count. Okay, so before that, I wanted to take the same order of the select statement. First, sum of salary. I can say sum of salary dot alias. Column name is, I'm just taking salary one. Make a comma and let's execute again. You can see salary and count is available here. And one more column, the next column is average column. We have a average function here. In RDD, we don't have a average function directly. You have to go for sum of sum divided by length of list. We are going to take it, right? We have seen that how we can handle it. So here we have a direct function. We can pass salary dot alias. In alias, you can say AVG salary. Then you can see AVG salary also. We are going to get it. And I wanted to say min of salary. Again, you can say dot alias. You can specify min salary. And we can also have a max salary. Max function is available. Max salary dot alias. You can give a alias name max salary. So whatever the order it is. Let's execute it. You can see all the aggregations here. So you can apply a group, and on top of the group, you can apply whatever the aliases, whatever the aggregations you wanted to apply. So this is how we are going to do it. Okay, so this is single group by we have taken, right? If at all, if I need a multiple groups, simple. I need by job also. Okay, so here what we are going to do, we are going to say job. Let's execute it. Same result I'm taking. You can go with a single aggregation or multiple aggregations. So what I'm going to do, you have to create a group first. Now group is with 2 columns, right? So I'm going to say group underscore d number underscore job. I'm just giving some name. emp underscore df dot group by. Here I'm going to specify the list of columns. One is department number, comma, job. Okay, so group by is specified. So then I wanted to apply the aggregations. So on top of this group, I'm going to take this dot count. Let me say just count, just for checking is group working or not. Now group is working. So if you see the count in this particular case, we have a 2, 2, 4. 4 is for 30 salesmen. You can see 30 salesmen is 4. Okay, so group is working. And once the group is working, then you can apply whatever the aggregations you wanted to take it. So what I'm trying to do is, I'm just taking a copy of this. So in place of this group, I'm going to take this. Okay, so rest of them all are same. Let's execute it. You can see the same, right? So 3000, you can see. Okay, so if you take this 30 salesmen, 1400 is there. This one, 1400 and 1250. 1400, 1250 is 1600. Okay, so total is 5600. 5600. So it's very simple if you wanted to do the transformations in the data frame. Okay, so if they ask, how can you write a Spark code? They will ask PySpark. Okay, so PySpark code, they will ask, how can you do it? You have to write like this. Okay, if they ask something like this, if you write it, we can do the same thing in SQL. We can directly use the same SQL code. I'll show you how exactly I can do it. If I have a table, then I can show you. I don't have a table at this point of time. I'll show you how we can use the same to same SQL code. That's possible. Okay, so equivalent to that, we are going to use this, of course. Okay, so this is how we are going to handle it, how we can create a data frame by doing aggregations. Aggregations we have seen. And we have a data combinings also. how we can do data combining. That is also one type of transformation. So data aggregation is one transformation, data filtering is one transformation, and the data combining is a transformation. Restricting number of columns is a transformation. Removing duplicates is a transformation. Okay, so replacing values is also transformation. Okay, so those are all the transformations. Whatever we have done in Data Factory, you can try to do it in Data Frame. You can do it. Or whatever we have seen as part of RDD, you can just try to do with the Data Frame. So Data Frame is much more easier than your RDD because that's not going to look like a table. Okay, if you want to do this same kind of operations in RDD, it's not that easy to do it. You have to split the data, you have to take the pieces, you have to write a custom function. And moreover, you are not going to get this header also. Header also will not get it. So those problems are there. Okay, so I'm stopping here. So in tomorrow, I'm going to take you through the data combining and a few more activities that I'm going to take you through. Okay, so any question guys before stopping?
Hi sir, Murli here.
Yeah, Murli?
One small dot, how to check the functions code inside the function code. For example, fill.
Fill in here.
See how the fill knows to replace null with zero. Is it the internal mechanism or
No, that's the internal. We cannot see the code of that. Basically, if you go for, I'll tell you how we can check the functions if you wanted to check, because you will be having more flexible. If you go to the documentation, just see spark.opposite.org. So this will be accessible anywhere. Okay, while working, you can go to the latest release and Python API reference. Under Spark SQL only, you will be having all the things. Okay, so data frame reader, you have to functions here. You can see. So under this PySpark.sql.data frame, you can find all the functions. You just try fill and here you can see. So when you hit on this, it will help you with some examples. Okay. So you can
Yes.
access this help. But we cannot see how they have written behind the scene for this fill any function. We cannot see that. We can see how we can use it. You got my point, right?
yes sir? One more doubt. All these comes under Python code or PySpark. Both are different.
PySpark. This is a data frame API. Data frame API follows Python. See, we have the style of writing code is Python style. Okay, so data frame is available in a Scala also. Okay, so this is a different. For Scala, you are going to write in a Scala way of writing. In PySpark, we are going to write in a what we can say Python style. Python style, we are going to write it. So you may not feel much differences when you go for Scala or PySpark. There is a slight difference you can find, that is not going to be much more difference. I didn't come across Scala, but that's not much difficult. So I can say only PySpark. I work with the PySpark. You're getting my point?
Yes sir, bit confused. Okay sir.
So simple. This particular data frame API works with the Scala as well as works with the Python. This is common for both of them because this is not related to completely like what we can say. Let me show otherwise if I go for API reference, not this one. I go to the Scala. Scala is little different. Even this not sure how we can handle it. So there will be some syntax differences, you can feel that. But this is going to work as a Python standard. Okay, Python approach it is going to be there. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Just follow this function. So you can say, I work with the PySpark only. If you say PySpark, then they will understand.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hi, sir. This is Ravinder.
Yeah.
Have you seen the resume?
Ravinder, I didn't get a chance. I'll look into today's Ravinder. I'll check.
Okay. Basically, I've seen sample resumes. Those are very
Okay.
complicated. They might have used other old technologies also.
You can
Recently,
ignore traditional technologies, because if they have a work experience with the traditional, they may keep that. Okay, so you can ignore them. You have to keep only Databricks related stuff as well as Data Factory.
nowadays, I've seen in news one resume was there. It is very simple. So I followed same pattern.
Yeah, even like even in here, are you in India or out of time zone?
In Hyderabad itself.
Okay. So even we have if you consult with the Naukri, they will set up like anything in easy way. But I'll look into your profile, like how your responsibilities are there.
Okay. Thank you.
Resume preparation is even like you can take if you pay amount to Naukri, they will prepare a profile and they will give it to you based on your technologies. Like, the graphical representation they follows. So
Okay.
that is much more easier. So I'm not going to say that. Okay, so I'll look only at responsibilities.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, please? We are doing the practices, right? Everyone is doing practice.
Yeah, yes.
So if you can do practice, very soon we are going to start the project. Okay, so I am going to give a chance to you to do it. That you can get only if you can do this. Okay, even Data Factory, Databricks, all together we are going to have it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm stopping here. We'll send tomorrow.